Hi there, and welcome to Hibbert's Hangout. Today on the channel we've got a game of Marvel Crisis Protocol, in which it will be She-Hulk and her A-Force taking on Black Bolt and the Inhumans. The threats being played today are Terrigen Cloud sweep across city, and Panic Grip City as evacuation efforts continue. The threat level being played today is 20 threat, so then we'll show you the squads, and then get into the game from there. 20 threat of A-Force today consists of She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Angela, and Scarlet Witch. Team tactics cards for the A-Force today are Stalwart Determination, Special Delivery, A-Force Assemble, The Whims of Chaos, and No More Mutants. The Inhumans today at 20 threat is Black Bolt, Lockjaw, Crystal, Medusa, and Ronan the Accuser with the Power Gem. Team tactics cards for the Inhumans are Inhuman Royal Family, Last Minute Save, Elemental Infusion, Terragenesis, and Atalan Rising. Here's our board set up today with the 2 mist clouds on either side of map C, and then the 4 civilians on map B. For the A-Force on the left-hand side we have She-Hulk and Angela, and over on the right, up on top of the buildings, is Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel. The Inhumans have lined up with Black Bolt on the left, Lockjaw, Crystal, and the right-hand side is Ronan and Medusa. So it's Lockjaw getting things started in today's game. He gained 3 power for Who's a Good Boy, due to be next to Crystal. He then advanced short, paid 1 of his 4 power to pick up that civilian token, and then he's just moved back away short towards the centre of the map. So first up for the A-Force is Captain Marvel. She dropped down off her building medium, paid her power to pick up that civilian, and then advanced medium to get within 1 of the Terragenesis cloud. For the Inhumans we had Medusa. She did her medium movement to get within range of Captain Marvel, did a Braids bash into her which got a flurry. So she did 2 points off the first one, which put a power onto Scarlet Witch thanks to She-Hulk's leadership. Before she moved her, Medusa did a second Braid Bash. This time did 3 damage. Angela banked power from that. And then she did her 2 pushes to Captain Marvel, who was left with just 1 health, within striking range of Ronan. So before the end of her turn, Medusa is actually going to spend 3 power that she got off of attacking Captain Marvel to play Terragenesis. Gonna roll some die and see if Captain Marvel survives. So Medusa has rolled her die, and in fact it would have done 3 damage to Captain Marvel. Only needing to do 1, she is in fact dazed. This has forced a point of power onto She-Hulk, and the civilian has dropped within grabbing range of Medusa, so she's paid a power to pick that up. So thanks to the effects of Terragenesis, the Inhumans are already going up to 2 victory points due to taking out Captain Marvel, who is holding a civilian. For the A-Force was She-Hulk up next. She just did 2 medium advances to get within securing range of the Terragenesis cloud. For the Inhumans was Crystal. She just did her long movement and tucked herself behind that Bobcat, and then she has transferred her power from herself onto Lockjaw thanks to Black Bolt's leadership ability. So for the A-Force was Angela. She just did her long move to get within range of the civilian, paid her power to pick that up, and then did a second move to get within securing range of the Terragenesis cloud. So then it was Black Bolt for the Inhumans. He advanced part of his medium to get just within range 4 of Angela. He then did an energy bolt into her, which got through for only 1 damage, although that's a bit deceiving as they both rolled 5. 5 for the attack and 5 for the defense, but Black Bolt does get a pierce with a wild, so she does indeed take 1 point of damage. And then She-Hulk also gained a power from her leadership. For the A-Force was Scarlet Witch, who just did her 2 medium advances to get within secure range of the Terragenesis cloud to try and get some points for the A-Force. To finish things out in round number 1 was Ronan. He just did a medium advance to get within securing range of the Citizen, paid a power to pick it up, and then just did a second advance to contest that Terragenesis cloud with the Scarlet Witch. So here's how things look at the end of round number 1. You have the A-Force securing a Terragenesis cloud on the left-hand side with She-Hulk and Angela. Angela's also managed to hold on to a civilian for an extra point. And the Inhumans have a civilian on Lockjaw, Medusa, and Ronan, and they're contesting the right-hand side Terrigenesis cloud. So the left-hand side Terrigenesis cloud has been moved by the Inhumans. Rather than trying to deal out a point of damage or poison to either She-Hulk or Angela, they've moved it towards themselves, as they do have the numbers advantage on the left-hand side. As for the right-hand side cloud, it just stayed where it was and dealt a point of damage to Ronan and Scarlet Witch, but she also gets inflicted with the poison. So at the end of round number 1, the A-Force will be scoring 3 points for Angela holding a civilian and her and She-Hulk contesting a Terrigenesis cloud. The Inhumans also scoring 3 points for holding 3 civilians, one on Lockjaw, Medusa, and Ronan. As we head into round number 2, the only character is flipping their card is for the A-Force, and that is Captain Marvel. So going first in round number 2 is Captain Marvel, who perhaps understandably was a little bit annoyed after what happened, so she went binary. Then she did a energy blast into Medusa, and she wanted 1 power. However, this dealt 7 damage, so she's instantly dazed her. So Medusa has dropped her civilian in front of Scarlet Witch. Captain Marvel then did a rocket punch into Ronan, which got through for 3 damage, and did the wild for a stagger on him. So it was then Ronan up for the Inhumans. Due to just being fed some power from Captain Marvel, he spent 6 to evacuate the civilian, then spent 1 more to pick up the civilian that was sat laying on the floor. He has done a strike into Scarlet Witch for his only action as he shook his stagger, and that got through for 1 point of damage. So due to Ronan evacuating a civilian, the Inhumans are going up from 5 to 7 points. So on the other side of the board for the A-Force, we had a special delivery after Angela made part of her long movement, and she took She-Hulk with her to drop her off where you see her now. So it was She-Hulk landing, and she did a sensational uppercut into Lockjaw, and that got through for 2 points of damage. So to say Angela was only left with 1 action, she went to work. She did a Zyphos Sword of the Stars into Crystal, which got through for 5 damage, so she's instantly dazed her. She got placed within 2 of her. She then spent 2 for Angelic Assassin to do a Zyphos into Lockjaw, which got through for 1 power. So Angela then spent 2 of her max power to throw the Bobcat into Lockjaw, which this time got through for 4 damage, so he was dazed. She then spent 6 of her remaining power to evacuate her civilian, and then paid 1 of her last 2 power to pick up Lockjaw's civilian. So thanks to Angela's very bloody turn, he has taken the A-Force from 3 points to 5 for evacuating that civilian. So for the Inhumans was the only Inhuman left standing, and that was Black Bolt. He just chose to do 2 energy bolts into She-Hulk. First one getting through for 1 damage, so she just used her ability and advanced short towards him, and the second one getting through for 2 damage. Due to She-Hulk's leadership, she's put a point of power onto Angela and 1 onto the Scarlet Witch. So then we had She-Hulk for the A-Force. She started things out with a sensational uppercut onto Black Bolt, which got through for 4 damage and inflicted slow. However, she then decided to just finish him off by clearing the court and throwing him into the Daily Bugle for the extra point of damage needed to daze him. So it was Scarlet Witch finishing things off in round number 2. She did a Hex Bolt into Ronan, which got through for 2 damage. She inflicted him with a Hex, and he would be dazed, but before that happened, she was accused. Ronan returned fire just with a strike, and that got through for 5 damage. So Scarlet Witch has been dazed on her own turn, and Ronan's dropped his civilian within 2 where you see it there. And that concludes round number 2. So here's the board as it stands at the end of round number 2. The left-hand side Terrigenesis cloud is being secured by She-Hulk. No one's securing the one on the right-hand side as they manage to daze each other. And then holding a civilian is Angela. So the A-Force this round have managed to make a couple of points. They go up from 5 to 8, managing to take the lead from the Inhumans. As we would head in to round number 3, flipping the cards is all of the Inhumans, and then the Scarlet Witch for the A-Force. During the cleanup phase of round number 2, the left-hand side Terrigen Cloud has just been moved within 2 to where you see it to try and play a bit of keep away from the A-Force. During the power phase of round number 3, Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch have both paid a power for stalwart determination, so they won't be pushed or thrown by anyone's effects this round. So at the start of round number 3, all of the Inhuman characters have spent 2 power each, so they can re-roll any of their attack dice. The Inhumans have then used Attilan Rising, so they'll all be gaining 5 power as all 5 of them are on their injured side, so that puts everyone up to max power other than Crystal, who will be going up to the acquired 5. So following the tactic card vein, Crystal has used Elemental Infusion, so anyone within 3 of her, which is currently She-Hulk and Angela, should they suffer a point of damage, will be inflicted with either Incinerate, Stun, or Slow. So it was Black Bolt trying to inflict some serious damage onto She-Hulk. He whispered right in her ear, but that only did 1 point of damage. But she suffered the Stun, Stagger, and Incinerate thanks to Crystal, and then he did his Master Punch, paying the last of his 4 power, and that got through for 7 damage and inflicting her with Slow thanks to Crystal. With She-Hulk's leadership, she has put a point of power onto Angela and 1 onto Scarlet Witch. So for the A-Force was Scarlet Witch. She spent 1 of her power to pick up the civilian. She then paid 6 power to evacuate it, so she's going to score the A-Force 2 victory points. She then did 2 Hex Pulse into Medusa, which got through for 3 damage and Incinerate, and then the second got through for 3 damage, so she's going to be out of the game. And then she used her power for some telekinesis, picked up the Fisk building and threw it into Ronan for 1 point of damage. Scarlet Witch has been judged for her actions. So then we had Crystal going into She-Hulk, trying to take her out. She did a Volcanic Surge, which got through for 2 damage. She did a Hydrokinesis, which again got through for 2 damage. Followed that up with a Hurricane Blast, this time getting through for 4 damage. However, She-Hulk is left alive with 1 point of health, and she has dispersed some power onto Angela, Captain Marvel, and the Scarlet Witch. She-Hulk has chosen to use her Gamma Infusion to advance short towards Crystal after all those attacks she put into her. So then we did have She-Hulk. For her first action, she had to shake her stagger. She then paid 5 of her 10 power for the defense rest, boost it up with superior weight training for 3, did it into Lockjaw, so that was 12 dice. However, she only rolled 4 successes. Lockjaw didn't roll very well on his defense at all, so he's going to take 4 points of damage, but he's still alive, just like She-Hulk, with 1 point of health remaining. So then for the Inhumans was Lockjaw. He just teleported himself within 3, had to do a short move to readjust where he was, then he could spend his 3 power for Drop It, and he did. He dropped the Daily Bugle right into She-Hulk for 1 point of damage, and she is out of the game. So with the Scarlet Witch being able to secure that civilian, she takes the A-Force from 8 points to 10. And for the A-Force was Angela up next. She just did a Zyphos Sword of the Stars into Crystal, got through for no damage. She did a second, this time getting through for 2. As she was placed within 2 of Crystal, she jumped to the other side, and she will be within 1 of securing the Terrigenesis Cloud. And then Angela has paid 6 of her 7 power to secure a civilian. So with Angela securing that civilian, that takes the A-Force from 10 to 12 in round number 3. So then we had Ronan taking on the Scarlet Witch. He spent 4 for Creed Justice. This got through for 5 damage with a stagger and the stun, leaving her with just 1 point of health remaining. She spent 2 to curse him, so he's also been judged, and then he again spent 4 power for Creed Justice, this time just dealing 1 point of damage, but that is enough to remove Scarlet Witch from the fight. To finish off the round was Captain Marvel. She just did a medium movement to get within contesting range of that Terrigenesis Cloud, and then she did a strike into Ronan, getting through for 2 points of damage. So this is how the board looks at the end of the round, And it'll just be the A-Force scoring 2 victory points due to Angela managing to secure that Terrigenesis cloud, as there are no civilians left in play, and Ronan and Captain Marvel are tying on the other one. So during the cleanup phase, the left-hand side Terrigenesis cloud has been moved, and it stayed within one of Angela, so she'll be taking a point of damage and being inflicted with poison. Over on the right-hand side, both Ronan and Captain Marvel will be taking a point of damage, but both of them are immune to the poison status effect. So at the end of round number 3, as we head into round 4, the A-Force will be going up from 12 to 14, thanks to Angela securing that Terrigenesis cloud. And we'll head into round number 4 next. So it was Ronan kicking things off in round number 4. He did a Creed Justice into Captain Marvel, and even with her energy absorption, he did 6 points of damage. So he's managed to take her out of the game. And for his second action, Ronan just readjusted where he was stood in case Angela decides to try and come flying across this side of the board, just to try and get a bit more distance. So for the A-Force was the last surviving member, and that's Angela. She's might be fighting a losing battle, but we'll see how she gets on. She did a Zyphos Sword of the Stars into Crystal, which got through for only 1 point of damage. So she had to do it a second time, and this time Crystal was able to block all of the incoming damage. So now it is just a case of piling on and seeing how much Angela can withstand. So then Crystal did a Volcanic Surge into her. This got through for only 1 point of damage. She followed this up with a Hydrokinesis, again only getting through for 1 point of damage. So Crystal spent 4 for Elemental Onslaught, trying to get that push. And this did 0 damage, and she did not get the wild for the push. And that wraps up Crystal's turn. So then we did have Black Bolt, and he just did a Energy Bolt into Angela. This got through for 2 points of damage, so she will be dazed. He then did a medium movement to secure the Terrigenesis cloud. Then to finish off the round was Lockjaw, who just did 2 short advances to get himself within range of Black Bolt or Crystal, should they need a last-minute save. So this is how the board looks at the end of round number 4, with the Inhumans securing both the Terrigenesis clouds and there being no civilians to play for. So we'll see where those clouds get moved by the A-Force. So during the cleanup phase, Angela has moved that left-hand side Terrigenesis cloud within one of Black Bolt and Crystal. Lockjaw was just out of range of its effect, so he'll be fine. And over on the right-hand side, Ronan will be taking a point of damage, leaving him with just 1 health remaining. So at the end of round number 4, the Inhumans have clawed some points back, scoring both of the clouds, taking them from 7 to 11. As we head into round number 5, Angela will be flipping over to her injured side. So it was Angela starting things off in round number 5. She started out by Blades of Ichor, paying 1 power, doing it into Lockjaw. He blocked the incoming damage. So she wasn't happy about this. She decided to spend 3 for Heaven's Wrath, this time dealing 4 to Lockjaw, so he will be out of the game. She followed this up by paying 2 for Angelic Assassin for a Zyphos Sword of the Stars into Crystal, which dealt 2 points of damage. So Angela's managed to take Crystal out of the game as well. So then we have Black Bolt for the Inhumans. He decided to do 2 energy bolts into Angela and did no damage to her. Over on the right hand side, Ronan just stayed where he was to secure that Terrigenesis cloud, and that's going to take us to the end of round number 5. So this is how the board looks at the end of round number 5, with Angela and Black Bolt both going to take a point of damage from that Terrigenesis cloud, and the right hand side one's going to stay where it is, dealing a point to take out of Ronan. So he'll be gone from the game, leaving it Black Bolt versus Angela. So as we head into round number 6, the Inhumans are going to get 2 points for Ronan securing that Terrigenesis cloud, taking them to 13 points against the A-Force's 14. As we head into round number 6, it's all about what happens between this matchup of Angela and Black Bolt. So it was Angela for the A-Force, and as you can see, Black Bolt has been left on his own, as it may not be popular, but Angela's just decided to do 2 long movements to secure the right-hand side Terrigenesis cloud, and I think that's pretty much going to secure them the game. So Black Bolt for his action has just had to turn around and let out a mighty scream, as there's nothing he can do to catch up with Angela. So he will secure a Terrigenesis cloud for the Inhumans, but it is futile. So round number 6 does end with Angela scoring 2 points for the A-Force, taking them to 16. The Inhumans do also score 2, so they would be on 15 points. But the A-Force take today's game. So there we have it. The ladies of the A-Force able to defeat Black Bolt and his Inhumans. It ended up being quite a close matchup with 16 to 15 points. And I think that Angela really shined in today's game as she was quite lethal and did out a lot of damage. Crystal, I'd say, underperformed us up until like round 4. She didn't get any attacks off. But it was a very interesting game, and I see some different pieces on the board. So I can only say thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. It's really appreciated. If you'd like to leave a comment down below, feel free to do so. Or leave a like, or possibly even consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.